everybody. Flip and Danny here, and our special guest star, Ben, who seems to be the interviewer.
Yes.
We're the interviewees. But welcome to another episode of our podcast, and our podcast is called
Freedom Through Passive Income.
That's right, and welcome to Coffee Talk. This is as if you had us out for coffee or, like I said, adult beverages. You're going to get way more out of us, just letting you know. But what would you ask us? And so Ben's been asking us questions, and so this is the fourth episode of
Quattro
of Coffee Talk. Take it away.
Today, let's talk about fear. How do you experience it? Fear.
Daily.
Daily doses?
Yes. I don't know how else to answer that question. I mean, but we look at it and we attack it. It's not we're not afraid of it. We're not afraid of fear. No, I'm just trying to think. There was it's a Navy SEAL thing. Something. What was it? Something is fear just leaving your body, like sweat or something. I can't remember. Anyway, but no, we attack it head on. But we see it every day, whether it's this, that, or the other. It's fear is never the same every day. You know, it's something different. Today it could be this. Tomorrow it could be this.
Is there some examples of how it changes?
Well, it just so the 56 unit in that situation, every day was a different fear because we'd wake up going, what's going to go wrong today? You know, what's going to go, what could possibly go wrong? And then we wake up and find something new that we never even thought of, you know, so that's what I think.
Yeah, I think, I don't think you get out of fear ever. I think everybody experiences it to some degree, personally, professionally, because many times it's fear of the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen.
Right. And
to get past it, it's the grit of knowing that you can find your way through, maybe because you're confident in you, maybe it's because you're confident in the people that you've surrounded yourself with, so that when something happens, you know you can go to somebody that's experienced it before and be able to get past it. But I don't believe we're ever going to be in a stage of life where fear doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. Even at the stage that we're at right now, I'm still fearful about the future, mm-hmm. you know, and how long are we going to live? And are our businesses going to continue to succeed as well as they have succeeded? Are we going to make a big mistake? We do everything in our power not to do any of those things, right? But the fear of the unknown is just that, the fear of the unknown.
Mm-hmm. I always talk about, we always talk about how we never give up, right? And we always talk about the 3 feet from gold. Mm-hmm. And that's we never give up. That 3 feet between you and the gold, that's fear. But we just don't give up. We just keep going and to get to where we need to get to.
Where did that come from? That grit?
That's a great question. I don't even know for me what it was. I will say that I was raised by parents that are incredibly positive and always said you can do anything that you want. Mm-hmm. And I maybe that said to me so very often, I just believed it. Mm-hmm. My parents said it's true, so it must be true.
Yep.
There must be something special about me. And they would use words like that. There's something very special about you. And you think that maybe you're different. And when you see somebody else fail, you wonder, am I the same as them? My parents say I'm special. And I don't know that my parents were even intentional about it, but I just lived in a very positive environment, and they pushed me to do absolutely anything they wanted. Anything I wanted. And they never once had any doubt. So why would I doubt if they didn't? They knew better than me.
Yeah, and right? I think my situation was different because I was never told I can be anything that I wanted. It was, go ahead, you can do whatever you want. But then it became, because living and being raised as a musician, it was always, you lived gig to gig. Mm-hmm. and that's how it was. But then the light bulb turned on when we went into, when we started, on cruise ships. We were art auctioneers, as you, and we realized, okay, if we work this hard, we're going to make this much. If we work this hard, we're going to make this much. If we work our arses off, we're going to make this much and be really super happy. And then when we got on land, as I quote, and even when we became, real estate agents and real estate investors, we knew that if we worked our arses off, we would make more money than if we just half-arsed it. You know, because then you're going to make as much as you work. You know, and that's been something that I know ever since we started, especially started in real estate, we really turned that on. We did that when we were on art auctioneers on cruise ships because we had that we affected our income, and when we went into real estate, we really knew we were going to affect our income, and so we knew that if we worked our butts off, that's just going to show at the end of the day. Yeah,
and you know, there's that saying, and you correct me, I get sayings wrong all the time, but there's something, there's some type of quote that says, like, if you don't keep on going, ultimately you're going to land back where you started, and you're going to have to start all over again. Right? And who wants the pain of starting over again? So even when there's tough times, it's that idea of, I don't want to go back there. That's like starting all over. I can't do that again. It took so much work to get here. I don't want to go back there. That means I have to push through here. And so it forces you to go, this is a bigger obstacle than me just getting through today or this next week. And I think that's something I think about all the time. And again, I don't remember the quote. We'll think of it.
Is it something like, if you quit tomorrow, you're going to be in the same place you are today?
Yeah, maybe.
Or something like that. I have no idea what it is.
But I think it's a mindset trick.
Well, I remember an early conversation we had when you were training my wife and I on the cruise ships about selling art. And I was like, well, how did you guys make this switch from music over into art auctioning? And you're like, well, we just listened, we asked questions, we really went to the top performers and learned from them. And when you created your real estate company, that's one of the first things that came into my mind was you did the same thing again. Mm-hmm. You went into the top performers within the field, you learned, you're reproducing it. So if we take that to the viewers, could we say, I mean, what is it that they can do to outwork, it's like one of the secrets you had is you're going to outwork other art auctioneers as far as learning. Mm-hmm. You're going to outlearn other, just people that are just out there winging it. You're going straight to the top people. Would it be fair to say that for the viewers, especially those that are just getting into real estate investing, or they've been doing something in another area, like for instance, turnkey, and now they're wanting to go into funds or to syndication, can they, if they outlearn others, if they just really do what they can right now, which is the podcast, it's the books, it's the all the things that we do to help educate, is that going to give them that confidence, the education, the ability to move forward in their circle of utilizing us as their mastermind group and us doing that? What would you say to that?
I would say absolutely yes. And I say that because it's happened. People have said, hey, I've watched you do this and this and this. And the more I've learned and the more I've immersed myself into what you're doing, or I've come to your office, or I've come to your event, I know what you do. I understand you. I trust you. I've asked you all the questions I needed to. You were available to jump on the phone with me. They do it like actively all the time. And I think that's our current investor base. If somebody's investing with us right now, they did exactly what you said. So we see it happen every single day. And I think that's really, again, step one, which we talked about in another episode.
So we're talking about fear here. Let's close with this. If a person is still learning about this, they're still dealing with these feelings of fearfulness every day that you've discussed, what would you say to them to help them just take the next step?
I'm going to say jump on the phone with you because that's what number one, that's what I would do, right? And so I always apply what would I do in this seat? And what do we do every single time? We go find somebody that knows more than we do and we go talk to them. And we find another person that knows more than we do and we go talk to them. And we listen to things and we start getting different perspectives to say, I want to know the questions that I should be asking. And the number one most powerful question that you can ask men when you're on the phone is, what should I have asked that I didn't? Right. Because people, that's when I know you have done a lot of research because you knew that you don't know everything. And that's probably the biggest fear of not knowing what you don't know. And therefore you think, did I miss something? And when you ask somebody as knowledgeable as Ben, then that's when you're going to get the answers. Well, let me tell you, this is something that people ask all the time, and you didn't ask. And then they go, oh, and the light turns on, and they suddenly feel, and I do this all the time, I feel like I've wrapped my head around this topic. And that's where the fear leaves and the confidence begins.
Excellent.
But the fear will still be there. So just get comfortable with it.
Yeah, I would say get comfortable with it. Yeah.
That's right.
every step is kind of scary, but it's okay when you're surrounded by people like us.
And you have a good support group.
That's right.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, make sure you're heading on over to our website, freedomcapitalinvestments.com, to join the Investor Club. And make sure you're checking us out on all the social media platforms. I'm not going to list them because half of them don't exist anymore. But we like to end all of our episodes with
Invest smart.
Live happy. Bye, everybody. Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on the show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit and loss.